everybody, and welcome to Hex Token Channel. Woohoo! Live stream number 2 today. Of course, your host Superman in the house twice a day, like a boss. What's that, about 3 hours a day? Man, oh man, we should be doing more. We should be doing more. Pulsechain and Pulsechain and Hex are just too precious. My precious! And of course, we got these wonderful projects built on top of them, a Maximus, and of course, Icosa Hedron. It's a pretty epic. We've got Power City Flex come later, and that's going to be cool too. So lots of stuff to be excited about. The Hex ecosystem is expanding, eating up that Hex supply. It's pretty juicy, folks, pretty juicy. Why Pulsechain is not too late to launch and take over crypto. That's what I just said. Why Pulsechain is not too late to launch and take over crypto. It's Pumpamentals Simplified. I love it. And of course, we're going to talk about that. So if you're new to Pulsechain, hopefully this will be a nice little Pumpamental simplification and why Pulsechain is such a game changer. And of course, why many of the critics just haven't done their homework. They're all intelligent, but just don't do their homework, do they? It's a bit like, reading about 30% of the stuff to go do their exam, right? It's a big fail, a big F for fail there. They can't get over 50%. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to look at the Pumpamentals in this live stream. It's going to be pretty alpha. Share this around, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. I may actually separate this out of the live stream and put that in a separate presentation video. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's get into the chat. Say hello. And of course, you see those powerful hands. And that's how powerful Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex are going to be. It's going to be epic. And of course, taking over crypto. That is Richard Hart's domination, aspiration. And of course, we are with him on that one. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're not hyped, man, get hyped because it's going to be absolutely insane in the membrane. Good to see Sam in the house there. Good night. Midnight here, says Sam. Hey, always good to see you in the chat there, Sam. I know that the time of day is pretty tough for you there at midnight. We'll catch you on the other side of the moon, as it were. Hex on as well, 11:30, 13 p.m. here. Just got back from a bar. Let's go, Hex. Nice one, Hex. Hex will be in good form. Maxi Hedron, Hex, not so much. Lol says Hex Hodl. Yeah, we're going to get into the presentation, Pumpamentals Simplified. Of course, we're going to get into the markets after that, so stay tuned for that. We're going to have a quick update of PowerPot. We're going to look at PulseCon and, of course, all the meetups around Las Vegas. So stay tuned for that as well. Don't forget to subscribe on the way in, smash that like button, hit the bell. If you want to join us, member, hit the join button. We've got Pulsecans, Hexicans, and the Richard Hart Club memberships. Get in there, support the channel. 2 live streams a day, of course, around Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex, and, of course, many of the other favorite ecosystem projects. So get into that. If you haven't joined our Discord as well, the link is in the video description. We are heading towards 700 members in Discord. It is pretty cool. It's got to be the place to be. If you love Pulsechain as much as we do, if you love Hex as much as we do, then get on board. That's what we can say. We got Matt and Barley in house there. Good to see you, Matt. Woohoo! Howdy all. Hope the dog is well there, Matt, on the beach. And of course, UFO there. UFO spotted has landed. Is that Twilight Zone? I think it might be. Francis in the house there. Good to see you, Francis. Hex Force 1 has landed. Good evening, Hexkins. Woo! Yeah, get excited. That's for sure. Hex Otter says on June the 18th, it was just another stream day for Hex Token and Hedron Pump 30x since that day. That's so true. That's so true, Hex Otter. You know it. You know it. You know it. It is awesome. Hex Otter says sometimes it's fun to go back to old vids or sort of RH vids by the oldest. I like that, Hex Otter. You were so right about that. Hex Otter in the house there. I'm glad I just buzzed sitting in front of my supercomputer instead of the heat in Vegas on the move. Tiring. Yeah, that's true. Francis in the house there. Hey, Superman. Good to see you, Francis, as always. Time for a burger from the fish and chip shop soon. Hex Token. No, I'm not allowed, UFO. I'm not allowed. I'm on day six of my Superman Fitness Challenge. I'm going to do some videos on this and vlogs, but at the moment, I am on day number 6, and I did my hour walk. That's good. I've lost 2.5 kgs. I didn't lose anything overnight. That is my first dot day. I've been doing pretty well up to that point, 2.5 kgs in 5 days. So sometimes that happens, and of course, you just got to power through. We'll see what my weigh-in is tomorrow. I'm currently at 22.5% of my target, and of course, that's the first target, and not too bad, not too bad. Hexoto says I went to a bar and lost 20 in 20 seconds playing a video poker. I'm good, says Hexoto. That's funny, man. That's probably annoying, dude. Granddad says hi from sunny Queensland. Good to see Granddad from Queensland there. It is definitely sunny there. I did my weekend sacrifice, says Hexoto. Very, very nice. And you got nothing back for it, Hexoto. You got nothing back. Hit the likes party, people. Hit the like. Good thing you got crypto, Hexoto. Good thing you got crypto. hit the likes party. Yeah, definitely smash it. A1's in the house. I support the economy, C6. That's true, you do. Hi all. About how about that Hedron price? Woo! Yeah, we're going to get onto that later on. Stay tuned, folks. And if you're waking up in the UK at the moment, welcome to you. And of course, what time is it around the world? London. It is currently 20 past 6 in the morning. 20 past 6 in the morning. So they're about to wake up there. So we'll welcome them on later on to the live stream. If you're in Tokyo, it's currently 2:25 in the afternoon. 2:25 in the afternoon. New York is currently 1:20 in the morning. So that's going to be fun tonight to see what they do to the markets. And of course, Los Angeles is currently 10:20 in the evening. Yesterday. It's currently 5:20 p.m. in New Zealand on Saturday, the 3rd of September. 5:20 p.m. there. So people in Los Angeles are still on what's that, Friday night? That's some crazy stuff right there. It's coming into Saturday night here. That's some crazy stuff right there. The world is a crazy place with the time zones. All right, for the real dude, yeah. Angels from A1 there, I like that. And Matt and Barley says, yeah, the beach, man, the beach is good, and so are the dogs, eating like kings. Not eating so good myself, Matt. Well, you can do the Superman fitness challenge, Matt. When I get out when I actually finally do my vid, you can follow some of the tips, perhaps get inspired. I'm inspiring myself just by doing it, to be honest. Hex Biker in the house. Good morning, all. Good to see Hex Biker has landed. Woohoo! And a big shout out to everybody in Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and England. They're going to be waking up. So that's pretty cool. How I made it. A1 says seafood diet. Everything I see, I eat. Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to stop that diet, actually, A1. Wow, man, that Mike Alfred RH debate was like Peter McCormick. Yeah, it was a little bit ouchy. It wasn't much for us who are in the ecosystem. It's like another day in the office. We're all over the globe, like fiat earthers, flat earthers, says Hexodal. That's true. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. We're going to get into it, folks. Hope you guys are going to have a lot of fun. Let's go. I'll try and leave a timestamp after the live stream. This is pretty much the intro here. 8 minutes. That's a pretty good intro, I think. All right, why Pulsechain is not too late to launch and take over crypto. Pumpamentals Simplified, and look at the power that is coming. This futuristic girl, she's got the power of Pulsechain and Hex in her hands. And of course, we're about to take over crypto when a Pulsechain launches. One cool insight from the video that Richard Hart did was that he talked about the team trying to make sure it doesn't have all the issues, coding issues, and attack vectors that all the EVM chains have got at the moment that are forked Ethereum plus Ethereum itself. So that bodes very well for the future. We do not underestimate the fact that you need to cover those attack vectors and fix up bad code. So that's a really exciting piece of insight there from Richard Hart in the latest video interview or debate that he did. So very excited about that. Let's get into it, folks. Pumpamentals Simplified. Let's go. And of course, we're in the world of darkness here. We're in the world of darkness. All this bad stuff's happened. Voyager, Three Arrows Capital, Mount Gox, you name it. It's all happened, right? It's just a terrible place. Terra Luna, people have got wrecked. And some of the biggest YouTubers in the space, heavy investments in those things, shilling it to all the people, and they all got wrecked. And now they're in this darkness out in a bear market. They've lost their millions, and they're looking for the next big thing. Well, the next big thing, they're saying, hey, look, we've got forks here. We've got things here. These things are fast. They're fast. But none of that, largely empty. They're largely valueless. They're not doing anything. And they're going, where can I get the next 1000x? Where can I get it? Oh, no. Richard Hart's telling us that we can't, that everything we're doing is bad and that he's doing the greatest thing. But, of course, we're out in the darkness. We've lost our millions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so people are looking for that ultimate ecosystem. And, of course, Richard Hart has created it with his devs. And let's get into it, folks. There is light in the darkness. And, of course, we're talking crypto here. So let's go into it. And, of course, there it is, a blanket of light coming at you. Pulsechain, folks, Pulsechain coming from there. And it's pretty awesome. Be inspired, the light in the darkness. If you're in one of those wreck projects, come over to the land of light. And, of course, we're going to watch out. Pulsechain's going to be cheap and fast. Yes, there are other forks of Ethereum that are cheap and fast, but this is going to be super cheap and fast, and it's going to be a proof of stake straight off the bat with the new code. This is not just a fork of Ethereum. It's this full system stake copy, but you're going to be actually getting an improved proof of stake with its own custom code. The code is basically being put into a Go language, And of course, the attack vectors are being covered, the bugs are being fixed. And of course, this is going to be a very efficient and effective code of Ethereum fork, and something that people overlook. It's going to be very, very powerful. It's also going to be having a pretty strong validator pool, of course, to make that operate super fast as well. So we're talking about maybe 4 or 5x times faster, but probably Richard's talked about 200 times faster. Maybe with some of these code enhancements, we'll just deliver that too. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that. Now, that by itself is not what you would say beat out some other chains, but it by itself is superior. In fact, you've got better security. You're going to have validators. You're going to be able to put your native token Pulse in it. You're going to be able to stake with them. It's very democratic from that point of view. You get to choose. And of course, that's going to enable you to flourish. Obviously, it's got all the basic things. You can hold your tokens on the blockchain. You can have your transactions on the blockchain. You can see the blocks on the blockchain. It's got all the basic stuff. So you can transfer tokens, things like that. It's got all the basics in there, but it's going to be the cleaner, better model of Ethereum. And of course, full proof of stake, no bad, environmental impact. So it's very, very cool. That is the basics. You've got to have that. And of course, that by itself is superior to quite a few chains out there at the moment. So that's going to be really cool. Obviously, what else we're going to have here? That by itself is not enough, but it is very important long-term for value security. So let's see what else we've got here. It's going to have also, obviously, the first biggest airdrop in crypto history, of course, on a proof of stake chain. So it's going to be very important. Everything on Ethereum is getting copied over. You're talking over 200 million wallets with over 500,000 ERC20 tokens, all copied over, ERC721s, everything's copied over. It is very, very powerful. And of course, this is going to be amazing. You match those two things together, super cheap, super fast, with all the security attack vectors fixed up that are problems with all the EVM chains out there. And then you match it with the biggest airdrop. Those two fundamental things are starting to build up the value proposition for Pulsechain, and of course the whole ecosystem taking over crypto. It only gets better from here. Look how much black space we're about to fill out, folks. It only gets better. So then we get on to the next part, Pulsex, of course, coming. Now this stuff here, a lot of people, when they criticize Pulsechain, they forget all about Pulsex, and Pulsex is doing something way different from everybody else. This could potentially be the first mega DEX and super DEX and mega DEX. So super DEX meaning that it's going to potentially be able to challenge the very biggest DEXs out there like Uniswap, but also challenge the centralized exchanges, even Binance itself perhaps over time. So we're going to be looking at that in trade volume. The other thing, of course, it could be the first mega DEX. It could actually challenge the value of the Pulse chain or native chains, EVM chains out there as well. That is how good the tokenomics is for Pulsex. And that's a big game changer. A lot of people forget about talking about that. They just like to say, oh, Pulse chain's cheap and fast. What other chains are cheap and fast? But that's missing the whole point. As we see, we're building a cumulative case for how amazing the Pumpamentals are in this ecosystem that Richard Hart and his devs are building out at the moment. It's taking a bit longer than people expect, but it's going to come. And when it comes, it's going to take crypto by storm. And of course, the community is only getting bigger and bigger all the time. We've got people still sacrificing for the Pulse chain. And of course, it was officially over on the 5th of April, and people are still sacrificing for the thing and for Pulsex as well. So just shows you the demands just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, so let's move on there. We're also going to have the incentive token as well. Obviously, it's going to be a dual token system here. It's going to be pretty incredible. And of course, yield farmers are wanting that yield farm incentive token. You bet your bottom dollar they will. They're going to come for it. It's going to be inflationary at the beginning, but it's going to have a deflationary curve on it, a mission curve. And so that's going to get rarer over time as well. So what do we get from there? Pulsex, woohoo! We're going to have potentially the biggest yield farm in crypto history. Don't lose that point. We've got an AMM bot, an automatic market bot. That's going to harvest all the Ethereum pairs and swap that out with a Pulse. And of course, possibly up to 3 trillion Pulse, and then set up liquidity pools. And it's going to harvest multiple DEX all over the place. Uniswap, Bancor, Balancer, all those sort of things. Sushi Swap, Pancake, all that sort of stuff that could be in this pool. And so it's going to just get bigger, 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 bigger. And of course, the yield farmers are going to come for that. They're going to come for the fees. They're going to get 0.22% of the fees. It's going to have a competitive fee for Pulsex, 0.29%. 0.22% is going for fees for yield farmers. On top of that, they're going to get the incentive token, which is deflationary over time. And that's going to be really bullish too. You watch that one. A lot of people don't talk about it enough, but I think it's going to do pretty well by itself. The other thing, of course, is we're going to have all that big liquidity, potentially the biggest DEX liquidity out there. And of course, it's going to ramp up over time. So we've got the AMM bot setting up straight away. Think of it like the first trade. And of course, it sets up this massive liquidity pairs versus Ethereum. Of course, they're going to be Pulse pairs. And then, of course, it's going to then also have the incentive token for yield farming. So we're going to have trading, yield farming, right? We're going to have liquidity pools. We're going to have one-side staking pools. We'll probably end up with all the special features like limit orders, other things like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, it's got a cool DAO. If you own a PulseX, you're going to have the DAO as well. So there is some democracy in there, bringing on third-party projects and tokens as well. It's going to be pretty incredible. So that's amazing. You think that's enough? Well, we've got the buy and burn. And the buy and burn is, I guess, the magical source there. Not only do we have the potentially going to have the biggest yield farming in there, we're all yield farming pools, but we're also going to have this magical buy and burn. And of course, for every $1 billion of trade volume, we're going to have $700,000 of buy and burn a day. That's a day. So we may start off, maybe we'll start off at $100 million in value, $50 million, whatever it's going to be, but it's going to ramp up pretty fast over time because of the biggest airdrop in crypto history, the biggest yield farming in crypto history, and of course the incentives for everybody to come and get that as well. So we're going to talk more about that. Stay tuned. So this is massive buying potential per year. It's going to ramp up really fast. There is such huge growth in this already. It's going to be amazing. So for PulseX, for Pulsechain, we had about 43,000 sacrifices, give or take. And of course, for PulseX, we had about 145,000, give or take, as well. So you've already got quite a big community already involved. On top of that, of course, you're going to have the biggest airdrop in crypto history. That's 200 million wallets over on Ethereum are going to be over on Pulsechain. It's pretty magical if you start adding up those numbers. And that, of course, is incredible. That supports massive adoption that other chains that forked Ethereum had to build up. They had to build up the ecosystem like Polygon, for example, and like other chains like that. So they have to build it up, whereas we're just going to have all this in place in once. So it's going to be pretty amazing. And that buy and burn is a huge, huge deal. And, of course, people are going to get excited about that every day it goes out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. Now, not only is it you're going to have maybe let's say we have 5,000 or 6,000 trading pairs going through there. Every single one of them is trading. They all get charged a 0.29% fee. And out of that fee, 0.07% of it goes and buys and burns PulseX. All the other projects that are out there go to serve to prop up PulseX. It is a game changer. So now if you see this whole thing is building out together, you can see Pulsechain, PulseX, incentive token, buy and burn, biggest airdrop, biggest yield farming, a super fast, super cheap chain. It's just getting bigger and bigger. And look how much black space is there. We're filling this in, folks. It only gets better from here. It's going to be pretty amazing. So let's have a look at what else we've got. Liquidity and yield farming, as I talked about, going to be massive. Probably the biggest yield farming liquidity out there for DEXs. Going to harvest all the other DEXs. It's really, really clever. And of course, printing money out of nothing with the AMM bot as the first big trade in the first day or two. And of course, it's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. Now, obviously, we've got Hex. Hey, Hex. Hex one. This is the way I put Hex. Hex is the one coin to rule them all. And that seems odd, right? You might think maybe Pulsechain. Pulsechain's the one ring to rule them all. Well, is it? And we're going to find out, aren't we? If Hex or Pulsechain is the one ring to rule them all. But I think that Hex is probably going to be the one ring to rule them all. And that's, I think we're going to have big liquidity appearing for Hex. And, of course, that's going to tie up the Hex on each chain as well. And it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. And, of course, I think the wealth effect from all this is going to flow into Hex quite heavily. And we're going to build on that theme. Hold on to your horses. You might go, wait a minute. Well, let's watch out and see how that plays out. So let's go on to the next thing. Obviously, with Hex, you're going to get yield. At the moment, it's about 38% for the average stake period of about 6.5 years. And, of course, the big upside is the price Pumpamentals. Obviously, Hex was pretty much the best performing asset during the bull market and did a 10,000x. And, of course, over 20,000, probably about 22,000, something like that, with staking as well. So massive, massive, massive. And depending on what highest price you think it went to, 52 cents or 56 cents, depending on what you're looking at, it was pretty amazing. And, of course, it is currently in its own price cycle with a bear market, of course, but its circulating supply has been eaten up all the time, getting ready for the next move higher. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk more about that. So let's continue on here. Whoa, what's that? A bridge? yes, obviously a closed system by itself sometimes is not enough. So an open system is glorious. And of course, we need bridges to other chains. Everybody recognizes that. Obviously, if you've got bridges to other chains, then you've got massive Pumpamentals. And of course, a bridge to Pulsechain is very important to Ethereum and of course to other chains as well. And of course, you get new capital and you get adoption. And this is one of the real big keys here. Fastest way to mass adoption is that you've got a bridge that people can come over and get their biggest airdrop, and also participate in the biggest potential yield farming in crypto history, as well as the special buy and burn feature, which is going to blow people's minds when it's in operation. It's going to blow people's minds. It really is going to take people off guard. People are going to criticize, go, oh, I was in Terra Luna, I was in Voyager, I was in Celsius, I was in all these other things, and I got wrecked. But you guys are going to get wrecked with your buy and burn because it's going to buy $700,000 a day. But you guys are going to get wrecked. Who's going to get wrecked? The person not participating is going to get wrecked, right? Fortunately for them, if they've still got assets on the Ethereum chain, they'll get a copy on Pulsechain, and they'll be very thankful for that. And they'll start singing a different tune when they see their bags pumped from PulseX exchange. So you watch out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we've got to have new capital coming over that bridge. It's going to go back and forth, of course. And we're going to have adoption, mass adoption like you've never seen before. We're not launching empty, folks. We're launching pretty full. And not only are we launching full, we're going to be overflowing. And I'm going to show you that later on. Stay tuned for that. This only gets better and better and better. So let's get on to it, folks. So we've got liquid loans. Boom. Liquid loans is coming in with a stable coin. Everybody needs a stable coin. Whether you love stable coins or not, you need them for DeFi. And there's a number of reasons why you need stable coins for DeFi, decentralized finance. And of course, we're going to look at that. We've also got fiat coming in as well. Now, liquid loans, let me not rush too quickly. Liquid loans is a fork of liquidity on Ethereum. And of course, we've saw when all the other things were getting wrecked, particularly Terra Luna and UST there, that liquidity, a stable coin was doing super well. So LUSD was doing super well. Capital flowed from wrecked projects. It flowed into the strong projects. And of course, LUSD had a superior mechanism. And that is that it is based on an exogenous system where the external capital is Ethereum that backs the actual stable coin. And of course, it is all over collateralized as well. Those two things have shown that that is the superior model in crypto for giving stability coin. And of course, that's actually been running mostly at a premium, about $1.02 above peg. And so every ecosystem needs a really strong DeFi coin, and USDL, the fork of liquidity, is going to offer us that. So instead of LUSD, we're going to have USDL, and of course, that's going to be major for DeFi. Let's not underestimate this. You need this for several reasons. So we're going to jump onto that, of course. We've got Fiat as well. Fiat, a fork of Aave. Obviously, Aave, one of the big ones, still standing and one of the top valuations out there, and Fiat is a fork of that. That's basically like a bank. It has deposit interest rates and borrowing interest rates. It also opens up other features like basic margin trading, flash loans, and things like that. You can build onto this product. So it's very important for that high-end speculator. And with high-end speculation, they win and they lose. And of course, but it helps with the liquidity and it helps with market making. So it's very important for that as well. We obviously need, like the bridge, we need fiat on-ramps and off-ramps. And of course, Richard Hart has talked about that being one of the four big verticals, right? Pulsechain, PulseX, a new MetaMask wallet, and fiat on-ramps, off-ramps, right? Those are the four verticals that Richard Hart's talked about. And of course, we may have a couple solutions around fiat on-ramps, off-ramps already in place. You know, we've got Overwatch, Rack and Rochelle with the EB exchange, and of course, everything blockchain. We've got that little consortium doing a lot of stuff in the space. We potentially have some third-party utility projects doing it. And of course, Richard Hart himself has been trying to do that too. So we'll see where the solutions come from. But I think we might end up with a couple, and that's going to be positive as well. At least one, I think, early on is the way I see it. We're going to have centralized exchanges as well, obviously, with the everything with the EB exchange. So we're going to have that with it's going to be a stock market and crypto exchange, very important. And of course, big money to be able to market that from billionaire Rack and Rochelle and Overwatch. So it's going to be, look out for that. It's going to be fun to see. And we probably will have a cascade of exchanges, centralized exchanges wanting to participate in the value creation on Pulsechain that they can't get anywhere else. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We also got cross-chain swaps, of course. We're going to have things like Power City Utility with cross-chain swaps, multiple EVM chains swapping over cryptos automatically for you. It does all the work. and you don't have to worry about it. You get the tokens where you want them to be on what exchange, what chain you want your tokens to be. You're swapping one token to another exchange. You get to do all that, all done for you. And of course, Power City's coming out with that. It's going to be epic. And of course, we're going to also have hundreds of native projects. We've got probably about 130 or plus or more now. It's just growing so fast. Honestly, every week there's more people come into the chat and go, have you seen this project? Have you seen that project? Have you seen this project? I go, no, I haven't got that much time to see, every single project that comes out. But there's so many native projects, and that doesn't include all the fork projects coming over from Ethereum and things like that. So these are all native Pulsechain projects in addition to the ecosystem. They just get more and more and more of them. And of course, we're seeing better quality projects over time. So not everything is always, perfect or good. Some of them will fail. Some of them will succeed. Some of them will be average. It's just the way it goes on any chain. But we have probably going to have hundreds by the time Pulsechain launches. It's going to be really, really cool to see them out. And they actually have a different paradigm to a lot of projects and other projects. And of course, we're going to talk about that. So what does that all mean? What does it all mean? We've got all these things coming in the ecosystem. Well, it means that it's going to drive into Pulsex a lot, isn't it? So the USD stablecoin is going to drive into there. You're going to be able to deposit your PLS, your native Pulse token with liquid loans, and borrow USDL against that. And you're going to be able to do swapping on multiple pairs in the DEX. And of course, that's going to be huge. So we're going to have risk management with a stablecoin. We're going to have a leverage, of course, where you put your PLS edge and you can borrow it. So you're going to have leverage. We're going to have new capital with centralized exchanges, cross-chain swaps, on-ramps, off-ramps. We're going to have capital movements. We're going to have that's new capital. And we're going to have adoption, of course, through centralized exchanges, through these banking and leverage lending utilities. And of course, we're going to have profit sharing as well on all these platforms, including many of the native projects that are coming on, over 130 so far. And of course, many of them have a profit sharing paradigm where you own the platform with the ownership token. You get a share of the profits based on the utility that each of those offer. So it's pretty awesome. So that's coming in as well. So that's feeding into Pulsex, pretty powerful stuff. But wait, it gets better. We got Maximus, of course, is doing amazing stuff. And of course, we've got a launch on the 5th of September. Now, they launched Maximus. It was 2x times more successful than the successful result. We had an ambitious target of 150 million, and it did 294.3 million Hex into it. And of course, staked out for 15.2 years, got Hex off the market big time. We got Icosa Hedron, of course, with HSI stakes, 350 million HSI stakes straight out of the gate before Icosa even launched, and then probably another 150 to 200 million since then. It's been absolutely amazing. So you're probably looking at about $500 million, something in that ballpark, give or take, through the Icosa Hedron ecosystem already staked out. So massive amounts. We're talking about massive amounts indeed. So amazing. So you're probably talking about 800 million Hex that's been staked out through these. These are huge plays. And of course, we've got Power City Flex and others that will no doubt come to build on top of the Hex token contract and build out the Hex ecosystem. And of course, that is coming as well. So we got that. What do you get out of those? Of course, you get a yield amplifier. They all offer extra incentives on top of the Hex yield. So the Hex yield, average yield, 38%. Obviously, depends on where you've got in to the Hex contract, but it's pretty incredible. Depends on how much longer pays better bonus you got, what your bigger pays better bonus you got, when you got in, all those sort of things. But basically, those benefits are super awesome. So pretty cool. Let me just get this comment off. Just realized I got this comment sitting on the chat here. I'm going to get that off. I do apologize. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, yield amplifier, Icosa Hedron, Maximus Flex, and others. Pretty awesome. And of course, what does that all mean? That means it's coming into Hex, right? And of course, what does it do for Hex? So we've got yield Hex. We've got yield on Hex. We've got price appreciation on Hex, which is massive. And of course, we've got a yield amplifier with all these products being built on. But what does it do for Hex? It reduces the circulating supply. And that's really big. Now, Richard Hart would always talk about the reduction of velocity of crypto. And of course, this is what these projects are doing for Hex. As I said, they're getting hundreds and hundreds of millions of Hex off the market. And of course, what have we got? Maybe something like 800 million Hex off the market. And we've got Maximus about to launch on the 5th. It could potentially do another 600 million. We will find out what the market decides. But of course, that puts it up, up in the vicinity of $1.5 billion or so. That is ginormous. So it's going to be really cool to see that. So that's massive pumpamental for Hex. And of course, so you got yield amplifier, price amplifiers, reduction supply. You've also got other forms of staking that you've come in for Hedron itself. So the benefits to the projects themselves, obviously, as well. So it's pretty awesome. let's get into this. Is the end game. The end game, folks, is that all these things from the Pulsechain and all that all feed in to the value chain between Hex, Pulsechain, and Pulsehex. And of course, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And of course, I suspect that Hex will be the one coin to rule them all. But it's going to be a battle between Hex and Pulsechain and Pulsehex to who takes the crown. But I suggest to you that the wealth effect and the network effect from all these interflows are going to flow through into Hex. As Hex gets scarcer, there's less Hex to trade. And of course, the Pumpamentals for the safe yield rate go up and up and up. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. So this is pretty much it. The Pumpamentals Simplified. Obviously, there's a lot more detail and around this ecosystem, but it's going to be pretty epic, folks, to see that. It's going to be absolutely cool. So wait, is there more? Yes, of course. The price pumps up and to the right, and that's what happens, folks. These things are going to pump the price, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. The biggest crypto airdrop in crypto history, the fastest way to mass adoption, the biggest yield farm in crypto history, the magical buy and burn that we haven't seen before. That's a very big differentiator. All these utilities, the best of everything in crypto is being forked over, and of course going to be used to pump and leverage up the asset prices, remove the supply from the market, and of course bring on the buyers. And of course, what happens? The price gets pumped, and of course it's going to pump all these Richard Heart tokens. And of course, if you think about the Pulsechain with 5,000 to 6,000 trading pairs potentially, that they're all going to go serve the pump Pulsechain, Hex, and Pulsechain. It's going to be a dream come true. And of course, this is the biggest thing in crypto coming up. Is it too late to launch and take over crypto? Hell no, it's coming, and it's going to be absolutely epic, and it's going to be super safe. And Richard's been talking about that as well, working out all the bugs in the other places and getting rid of them, and writing a new code language for Pulsechain. It's going to be epic. Now, obviously, we're pre-vile for Hex, and of course, that's going to be supercharged as well with Pulsechain. And of course, we've got many other things coming out that are not on the slide, like the highest of stakes and so much more. It's going to be absolutely epic. And of course, there's so many things we don't know of that are coming in the future that are also going to pump all this as well. But this is a nice simplified Pumpamentals. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And of course, there is more. The ultimate ecosystem has been created by Richard Heart and his devs. It's going to be absolutely epic. And we've got really clever devs building on top of Hex and Pulsechain. There's, like I say, over 130 projects so far. We've got obviously Alex and Dipcatcher out there, and Gold Key, people like that actually innovating at the frontier of crypto and DeFi. It's absolutely awesome. And of course, everything matters. All those components matter. When you talk about an ecosystem, you can't just talk about one bit of it and attack one bit of it. You got to talk about the whole lot of it. The whole lot of it is a Pumpamental. It all adds up, and everything else is missing a lot of those components that we just showed you. And it's going to be absolutely everything. Taking crypto, man. Taking crypto. That's what we're going to be doing. Taking over crypto. I forgot to put over on there, but hey, that's cool. Hey, you forgive me. All right. I also left a comment on the screen there for a while. That was unfortunate, but this is the way we go. This is Hex Token channel, and that's how we do it. All right. We're just rough and raw and ready, but we're having fun. That's for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That is the presentation. I'm probably going to do that on a separate video and post that out. But yeah, we won't have a comment on that one. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, cool. Let's get into some of the comments. We've got the markets at the moment at BC's trying to hold on to 20K still. We've got Ethereum at $1,572 and BNB at $277. We're going to get into the charts, the Hex ecosystem charts next. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, what else are we going to talk about? We've got a few things coming up here. We got, I think we got up to Hex Biker, who's in the house there. We got through all those as well. The charts are so low. It's black, says Exodal. I like that. That's pretty cool. Dark chart. Yeah, the dark chart. That was definitely dark mode on the beginning of the presentation there. That was definitely dark mode, man. It was so funny. Matt and Barley says how I made it. It's so true that banter rant last night makes Peter Shifty look bullish on Bitcoin. That's true. Exodal says, if I was streaming with a green screen, I'd be disappearing in the green smoke, says Exodal. That's pretty. Hey, Pulse Unity official. Woohoo! Became a new member. Well, awesome, man. Appreciate the support. A big bow down from Superman to you, and welcome to the club. Hope you use those emojis. Get those emojis out. Get into Discord and let us know if you're in Discord. I post you to you. Actually, I think you are in there. So cool. Appreciate that big time. What else that we got there? Let's get on to. We're going to move some of these. Let's have a look here. We're going to jump through all that. We've got Matt and Barley says, when Pulsechain comes out, I'm going to poop my pants family channel. Hope that's not over the top. Yeah. Damn, Hex Token on fire with all of the free throwing info. Says how mate, hey, you're welcome, man. I love it, man. It's so good. Should have a new rule that you can shill whatever coin you want for a $10 minimum super chat, and only the one time in the super chat, says Brian. I like that. That's pretty funny. Never thought about that, actually, to be honest. StakeX says Superman doesn't give financial advice, but the man does get excited about projects. Who can blame him? This is exciting, says StakeX. That is right. That is it. So true. I think Gen X will do that, says Brian. Yeah. Shilling stuff is bad, though, says UFO. That's the downside. Yeah. We are this channel is focused on Pulsechain, Pulsex, and X, and all the cool projects on top of it. We've been consistent with that, and we're going to stay there in that zone. Wookie in the house says Wookie. Yeah. Superman, can we have a poll? Is the Earth round or is it flat? Says Matt and Barley. We might just do that later on. We'll try that later on. For scams, $500 super chat only, says Hexodol. That's hilarious. All right, the world is a hexagon, is it? The world is a hexagon, says Granddad. That's true. And StakeX says I'll shill the now project, says StakeX. Hey, thanks for the super sticker. I got to do the bow down every time I do a super sticker. If you want to get me to do a bow down, there we go. And I do appreciate the support big time. I shill that it's now project, says StakeX. That's funny, man. You're the first person to pay a commission for shilling a project, which happens to be our community leader. How mate, it says all those free airdrops are PRC20 going to be swapped for PLS. Major pump, says how mate. That's probably true too. $2 whale in the house, says UFO. That is true as well. That's pretty funny. What else are we going? We're going to jump through some of these. Morris is in the house. Good to see Morris. Good to see you. Let me jump through some of these. LUSD is kicking ass. Yeah. Liquidity fork on Ethereum. Money flows to the successful projects, right? You get wrecked in one project, it's going to flow to the others. That's what we saw happen. And of course, that's what we're excited about. Liquid loans. It's going to play a pivotal role inside the whole Pulsechain ecosystem. It's going to be very, very cool. Now, Pulsechain, the Liquid Loans testnet, that's due at the beginning of this month. So hopefully we'll get that soon, UFO. That's what they did indicate, of course, probably a day or two. Maybe next week we'll probably get that, as my guess, the UFO on Liquid Loans. Thanks, guys, says Morris. You're welcome. Hex is the grandfather, says Granddad. Yeah, that's true. I like that one. So much pink on the screen, lol, says Hexodol. Christian Collins says, damn, all these things that people will be able to do with their money once Pulsechain launches. Is so true. All right, I think I'm almost up to date on the channel. What else there? Christian Collins says, I want to get some PLS, PLSX, EX, and that's all I want. Hey, look, we've had a number of people in the Discord contact us saying that they've sacrificed for Pulsechain recently with tons of X. And we're just like, man, oh man, did you guys read the rules? I do note that there's not really a warning on Pulsechain's side at the moment. Maybe that's become an issue. So yeah, that's definitely something to think about. StakeX is this simple. Do you think Hex will be 4 cents up the highest of stakes? And Pulsechain up the Pulsechain, all native projects, the biggest airdrop in crypto history. Oh man, think about it, says StakeX. True. Mega Art in the house as well. You're a fantastic guy, and your time to stream is perfect with Copenhagen. Hey, Mega Art, appreciate that. And big shout out to everybody in Copenhagen. Superman, do you realize you will be doing 8 streams a day soon? Hex, Hedron, PulseX, Liquid Loans, and all the rest. Hey, look, the reality is we're going to have 9 charts before the end of September, Matt. We're going to have 9 charts before the end of September. We've got 4 at the moment. Now, we're going to get into that. We've got all the markets going off. And, of course, we're going to talk about that now. So cool. Let me just jump through some of these comments so I can get through that. Hexodol says Hex Token has the most complete and inclusive coverage, RH stuff, and ecosystem. Thanks, Hexodol. Appreciate that. Facts, says Brian. Nice one. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to be consistent. You guys know that. Just focus on the key stuff. I think that's really important. Christian Collins says, my head hurts from all this info, says Christian Collins. Yeah, I'm going to do a short video on that slide later on, Christian. And, of course, I might rename it something else and post that later. So that'll be cool too. Andretti says, I hold 100,000 Hex. We'll see 15 million Pulsex and 1.5 million PLS. What do you guys advise me to do? Put all of P Hex into Pulse, says Andretti. So you can offer some insights to Andretti there. How can I use my Hex for the upcoming perpetuals? You'll be able to mint them 1-to-1. You have to choose the ones that you want to go into, though, Micah. What I suggest to Andretti and Micah, get into our Discord, and we can chat about it on there, since they're both quite large topics. So we do have Brian and, of course, Fat Sammy in there that help people talk about things like that. So definitely get in there as well. Neil in the house there. The link to the Discord's in the video description, by the way, and you can get access to it in here. So we've got private voice chats as well. Brian and Fat Sammy are great for that. and there's a few other people in there too that will help. A1 in the house, Nikits. What else there? New member, StakeX. Woohoo! Thank me later. Nice one. I got to do the Superman bow down as well. I appreciate the support, man. You guys are epic, and I really do appreciate that. I've got to get my next thing is to get a new camera, right? So I got to get a new camera for my vlogs. I got the gimbal from Brian, which is fantastic. You can see the gimbal. And I don't know if it's quite show. Does that show better? There we are, the gimbal. That's cool. From Brian. Thanks to Brian again. And I've got to get a camera soon. So that's how we're going to roll. That's the thing when you're all staked in Hex. That's the way it goes. What else we've got there? Smoking Hot says A1. Absolutely. What else there? Yeah, there's the Discord link. Very, very cool. Join. All right. So who's that Paul there? Is that Get Hex's Paul? Oh, man, that is gorgeous. That is so cool. Where is that? Taken on my phone, view from the hotel room. My goodness, that is so good. Oh, I feel like I want to be there right now. That is so epic. Wow, that's beautiful. All right, cool. Let's jump over to the Hex charts here. We've got Hex at just under 4.2 cents. And, of course, we've got Maxi there at a 2.17 premium on Maxi. Yeah, this has been our pick, right? This has been our pick. And, of course, expecting potentially a breakout to the upside again. We already had one up here, of course. And, of course, we called it pretty perfectly. And, yeah, we're talking about it here down at 67% premium. It's now up at 116, 117% premium. Looks like it's about to break higher again. We've still got a couple of days before the official launch. So if you're in the United States, you're just going to sleep on the 2nd. So we've got the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's going to be launching on the morning of the Monday, the 5th of September. And, of course, we don't know exact time. It's a bit of a surprise. But it's been Maximus Team and Perpetuals, the base trio, Lucky and Dicky, are going to be launching at that time. So that's on Monday morning, the 5th of September. And, of course, the premium's already at 118%. So you need 2.18 hex per 2.17 hex per t-shirt. Sorry, not per t-shirt, per max. No, what am I saying? What am I saying, guys? 2.17 hex per maxi. Thank goodness, there's so many tokens, man. Oh my gosh, I better retire right now. There's so many tokens. Oh my gosh, in the ecosystem, and they're all Pumpamentals. They're all just pushing each other up. Of course, there's a little bit of a breather for Hex at the moment. That's going to turn around pretty quickly in my view. All right, so cool. That is looking like a boss, and let's see if we can get up to 3 hex per per maxi, not T-shares. I think about T-shares all the time. 3 hex per maxi. Let's see if we can do that. Let's get 3 hex per maxi. All right, cool. All right, so what else we got? We got Hedron at the moment. Hedron is at 5,373, and of course, just taking a breather at the moment. It's still looking good, but remember, there's a lot of people with big X returns sitting underneath all this price chart. So just taking that into account. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI there is this is on the hourly. That's pulled down there at the moment, so that's a nice little breather for Hedron. And of course, if we look at the 4 hourly, that still looks pretty good to me. Still looks pretty good on the chart. 4 hourly, just a little bit overbought, just pulling back a little bit there. So it's taking a bit of a breather, probably good. And then, of course, the daily, you don't want to lose too much momentum, but you want to have a little breather, if you know what I mean. And, of course, there we are at the moment. We've got on the daily there, we've definitely in overbought territory, but we could stay up there for a few more days. Look at this one here. We stayed up there for a few days, so we could do that. But definitely, if it's going to have a go, it might have a little breather before having a go. Otherwise, it's going to turn over, right? It's going to turn over. People are going to take the big extra turns, and this is the way it goes. So we're going to be watching out for that pretty soon. So not too bad, though. I still think there's a bit of room to go, but it's getting pretty tentative, right? It's going to have a try and have a go at the all-time high of 7272. So watch out for that. Don't say I didn't told you. So people do take profits. There is parabolic rises. We see that in Hex. We see that in any market. So even though the Pumpamentals are great, and we have got the big HSI sales coming up in November, the 13th, 14th, and of course for 2 weeks, it's kind of the big payday for 2 weeks or so. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this goes over that period of time. But definitely on the charts, definitely in overbought territory, but has a little bit more room to move, in my opinion. There it is up at 5481. And of course, I do think it's got a chance of trying to have a go for the all-time high, but of course, going to need to do it, and either cool off a little bit, then do it, or go for gold on it straight away. So we'll see how that gets on. All right, cool. I think Brian's up to something in the chat there. Who else is in there? We've got a couple other comments. I think we got a super sticker in there as well, so we're going to check that out. Staked Hex, of course, the latest member. Appreciate that big time. What else there? We've got Brennan there's out. What's up back from bowling and didn't beat your score, Superman? Yeah, well, that was a fluke score that I did, and it was a long time ago, Brennan. But I'm sure you did pretty well. Brian says you can use an old Android or iPhone 2 or 3 years old would work with great or that gimbal. Yeah, I'm looking at it, Brian. I'm looking at it. I am not mucking around with it. I will try and get something soon. I had organized something, Brian, but it fell over, so I'm going to get onto it. Pulse in there as well. 321. Dang it, says StakeX says, my God, your head examined if you are not telling everybody about the new Maxi project, says StakeX. Yeah. A1's in house there with the fire burning. Brian Brazozzi says, hey all, hope everyone is having a good evening. Hey Briz, it was really good to see you on Discord Syndicate earlier. You did a fantastic job on there. I did think that you were like a movie star in the black and white films, but apart from that, you were like alpha dropping on there. Nice work there, Briz. Matt and Barley's in there as well. $10 super sticker. Appreciate that. Got to Superman bow down again. My goodness, I think I'm getting exercise here. Exercise. So it's pretty good. Gold content says A1. I love it. I love it. Christian Collins in house says, what is the best thing to do? Get Maxi now or wait for the launch and get Maxi or wait for the launch and get one Maxi for one Hex, says Christian Collins. Oh, man, that's a bit of a tease there, Christian Collins. Francis in the house there. Good to see you. Woohoo! Hey, look at Maxi, mate. It's not holding on. It's not waiting for anybody. It's just gone up again, 2.18. It's just gone up during the live stream. That is not holding on for anybody there, Christian. Hex Autos in house. Brazolji got his electricity back. Yeah, true that. True that. Man, Briz is the best, man. You're the best. Pay that PNG and e-bills. Nice. What else there? What else we got going there? Click on. Click on the gifts. There is apparently memberships in the channel there from Brian. He did that the other day. Brian, you are amazing. Gifted 5 Hex token memberships. So if you want to get membership, definitely get in the chat there. You've got to hit the gifts apparently. Click on the gifts and allow gifts, and you can claim some of those member channel memberships there. Nice one, Brian. Appreciate it. Got to do a bow down to Brian now. Man, I'm getting the exercise here. I'm getting the exercise. That's the way we go. Pulsechain says, let's go. Pulsechain, all the moon says, Dan Dog Crypto. But yeah, we're going to get on to the Pulsechain later on there, Dan Dog. It is on the channels there. You don't have to worry about it. It's coming up. Sam and SB says it's 1 a.m. picking up spouse at the airport, delayed flight. Nice one, Sam. Good to see you back in the chat there. I thought you were going to turn in for the night. Because I was laughing at the black and white possibly. Such a nice stress relief to know that Alex can be trusted with Hedron and Icosa. Peace of mind is underrated, says Howard Matty. Yeah, we've got amazing devs. You know, obviously we had Carl, the dev, and Hex, and other people like that. We've got Dipcatcher and Maximus, and we've got Alex and Icosa Hedron, all wanting to build on to Hex and make this system even better and better. So it's cool. Smoking Hot says A1. Thanks, Superman, says Briz. Yeah. Pump it, Superman says A1. We're trying to pump that. It is going up. 2.18. This was the pick. Remember, this was the pick. And I told all you fellas down at 69% LB. That's kind of the ghetto talk in Kiwi land. What else have we got? T-Shares, the money printer for Hex, Maxi, and Hedron. I like that. T-Shares is the money printer. That is true. This will be a members only channel, says Brennan. It looks like it. Nobody claiming, says Brian. Nobody claiming. I don't know how many are left, actually. It doesn't even tell you how many are left. We've definitely got that. I can't actually show it in the studio, unfortunately, Brian. It doesn't allow me to show that you did that. So, but definitely people can hit the gifts there and claim those. It took them a while to claim the 5. I did also the other day, says Subtle. It's not too obvious how to claim. Yeah, the first time it's always hard. Yeah, so how to claim those free channel memberships there from Brian has gifted to everybody. Just click on the gift and allow gifts. So click on the gifts and allow gifts. I guess it's where you gift if you want to give a gift to the channel. So do that. All right, cool. Let's see, 2.18, man. It's moving. Woohoo! I feel so good about this. Look at that, man. I was talking about this. I was talking about it much earlier, of course, but we were talking about it down here. And, of course, I know a number of people that got in around here. So that's cool. I'm very happy for them. Now it's up at 218. But how high will this go? And, of course, we're not far away from the all-time high, by the way, of the premium. We are almost up to there. And the premium was that we had a spike premium on Maxi back here on the, I can't even see the thing because my channels are so, there we are, let's go to that. Back here, we had a premium on the 15th of, it spiked up just temporarily to 2.33 or 2.34 if you want to round it up. And of course, it's 134% premium over Hex. Over Maxi. Oh, wait a minute. Maxi over Hex. Yeah. So cool. Why am I tongue twisting on that? I don't know. And it's time for a drink. Cheers, everybody. There's no vodka in this, by the way. All right, cool. Look at that. It's looking good, man. And where will this go? Could this go to 3+? We will find out. So it's going to be fun to see. The 3 is up here. So let's see how we get on there. It started off at a 1-to-1, then went all the way up. It was at 2-for-1 twice here, once, twice, and then 3 times. Obviously, we've got the spike up here, but basically it held value up at here for quite a while. And of course, now we've got the breakout here. So we've got a breakout, and of course, where will the breakout go? The welcome to crypto. You know what happens in crypto with breakouts. So we'll see. And of course, we've still got 2 or 3 days to go before the launch day. It's going to be fun to see where this actually goes to. Obviously, we don't know how much Maxi is going to be burned. 20% of Maxi is going to be burned when you mix mint team. 50% is going to the mystery box. It's kind of like a sync, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. We don't know what the mystery box is going to do. And of course, 30% is going to be locked away for 3, 6, 9 years. So that's locked away for at least 3 years. 5% is locked away for 3 years out of 30%. 10% away for 6 years. 15% away for 9 years. So out of that 30%. So 5 plus 10 plus 15 equals 30%. Of the Maxi that goes to mint team is going to be locked away. We know that 50% is out of the game. We know that 20% is out forever. 5% is out for 3 years. 10% is out for 6 years, and 15% is out for 9 years. That's out of the 50%. That's huge. What happens if we get 100 million going in there? A Maxi out of 293.3, massive. So where will this premium go? We don't know. Mark's going to tell us, but of course, it's going to be fun to see. All right, Maxi's going to get scarce, basically, is what I'm saying there. And, of course, 50% in the mystery box, maybe that stays off the market for ages. Maybe it decides that being benevolent means dumping the Maxi on the market so people can get more, pick up Maxi. I don't know. Or maybe benevolence means that it doesn't hit the market and that there's got scarcity in the market. And so that's more benevolent. I think that's far more benevolent, by the way, than giving cheap Maxi out, especially after you'd be basically smashing on the heads of people holding Maxi. So I would hope the benevolence is viewed as keeping it off the market and maybe giving it to stakers, maybe giving it to the third phase of Maximus, and then having if we have staking of ownership tokens, maybe giving it out that way. So if you're staking your Maxi, let's say if you're staking your Maxi and your base trio, Lucky or Dicky, then you are getting some Maxi from the treasury box, or maybe if you're staking team, they're going to give you some more. Because there's a capacity to give some more Maxi airdrops. Maybe the mystery box does that. Maybe it gives you some of the team tokens, gets a copy of all the team tokens that get minted as well. Who knows? We're going to find out. That's part of the mystery. Or some people like to say magical box. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, cool. The perpetuals, of course, are base, trio, Lucky, and Dicky. You need Hex for those. And that's going to be super bullish. Now, it's easy to do. It's going to be a 1-to-1 mint. So you need 1 Hex for 1 base token. One Hex for 1 trio, etc. It's just a 1-for-1 deal there. It's a very simple website. You just basically have to have those Hex in your wallet, and then it will then ask you to approve to be able to spend it, and then it will just you can then mint those tokens. Now you don't lose the ownership of the Hex. Unlike Maxi, when you put Maxi in team, you lose the ownership of the Maxi, but in the perpetuals you keep ownership of the Hex tokens, so you don't lose that. It's very different. Okay, you don't lose that. Basically, all the Hex that gets into the staking pool ends up getting staked for a year, 3 years, 7 years, and 10 years, respectively, for the base trio, Lucky, and Dicky tokens. That's pretty much that. So cool. At the moment, 2.19%. I'm so glad, man. That looks so good. Where's it going to go to, though? That's the question. And of course, don't forget, we're launching on the 5th. It's going to run for 21 days, the mint phase for the team and the perpetual tokens. And it's going to not finish till about the 26th of September. Which is going to be 5 days after the federal interest rate rise on the 21st. And, of course, that's going to be 11 days after the ETH merge finishes. These are key dates in September. And, of course, we've got the inflation coming out in the middle of September as well, around the same time as the ETH merge. So we've got a couple of big things there to play out later in the month. So it's going to be fun. All right. Yeah, Hedron looking great. Maximus looking great. It's great to be alive. And of course, Icosa there currently arbitraged value with the HSI buybacks through Icosa at $1.28. And probably a little bit of a premium in there, actually. Just looking at that price. All right, we're going to get on to the BNB coins. Let's see what other comments have been made in the chat there. I think we've got a few extra comments. I just got to calm down. I'm so hyped, man. Just thinking about all the stuff that's coming, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And of course, the Maxi Hex ratio is all-time high, basically, C6 at all. That's true. It is at all-time high. Superman, the 1 year on the new Maxi, your thoughts? The 1 year on the new Maxi, it's going to be the highest liquidity pairs, I imagine, their stake Hex. I think it possibly, I don't know if it will get the most Hex in it, but could do because of its liquidity. And of course, getting the next year's premium up closer might happen there. That's kind of what I'm expecting with that stake Hex. I'm thinking long, like always here, long. I think in terms of price Pumpamentals, don't forget it's not volume, just volume. It's price Pumpamentals. The Lucky token is coming out just at the beginning of the 10-year stakes that are coming out for Hex in 2030. So remember that's if there's a big price premium in there, you want to get your volume before all those big stakes come out. I think quite a few of those big stakes coming out are going to I think a lot of them will emergency in stake once it comes up to the year 2025, 26. If you guys recall that, I've said that for a while, that once those big 10-year stakes get to 50% mark, they can emergency in stake there if the US dollar would justify it. So they'll forego their big payday, they'll forego their big interest yield, and they'll try, if the US dollar is high enough, many of them you will see capitulate and emergency in stake. So it's just a function of the price. Price is always the biggest Pumpamental in crypto. We all know this. And of course, I think that's probably going to happen there. So the 7 year is a 23% yield, I think. The 10 years, I think, was a 28% yield on the Decky token. Yeah, I definitely think that the 7 year could be pretty interesting there from a price perspective, not the yield. Obviously, the 10 year is a better yield play like Maxi is. But yeah, don't forget the difference between year 10 and year 15. You don't have the T-shares dive really quickly, and the tax payout goes up really, really strong in the last 5 years. So between year 10 and 15, it's dramatic. So yeah, just think about that too. The 3 year, of course, you've got the base, the trio, and the first Maxi payout coming for the team token. That's going to be pretty interesting for the team side of things. So yeah, I kind of feel yes, it's tricky, man. It's tricky, but from a price point of view, I'd pick the Lucky token over the Decky token from even despite the yield upside to the Decky token. But I don't know if the market's going to price that in, if the market's going to think about that. But I think it's a pretty big, important play. Obviously, the Decky comes out after the big, I think it's in, 2032. So, yeah, it's interesting thoughts there. But the base is definitely going to be big, popular too. So, yeah, we might see the trio actually be the smallest, would be interesting because that would be the smallest payout for the team token for that particular maturity. That's going to be interesting, yeah. I know that in the original polling at the beginning, base and the Decky were the most popular, but I think people got more information since then, and maybe the Lucky people are thinking about maybe the price upside. These are for the long-term players, right? The people that are going to actually hold, not the ones that are going to try to trade premiums and things. So yeah, interesting sight in there. It's really tough, man. It's really tough. Superman, got my bus motorhome up for sale and a Cairns payment pending. I turn into Hex in order to get other coins, Hexy, Maxi, and so my stake will only be medium term out before last high. Yeah. So, hey, look, picking up Hex is the GOAT, right? Hex is the GOAT. I think that would work out pretty well. And of course, you can flick it into the other assets as the market dictates. Obviously, we've got Maximus moving up pretty strong here, 2.19. So that has left the train station, but maybe it's going to stop at another one before it moves on to the next high. Hopefully I answered your question there, Matt. Agreed. All Hex people understand T-shares, the absolute king to Hex. I'm going to in on Maxi, but the longer Decky and Lucky are my play. Yeah, I think so. Stake Hex. I think that's the right way. Now, the other thing, of course, Hex is just at the moment, Hex is going to have its come back in the play. Obviously, we've just got these launches of all these awesome derivative plays, and so we've got this temporary window where Hex is the cheaper play at the moment. Just that's not going to last for that long. Because the second derivatives are actually eating up the supply and helping the longer term Pumpamental So stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen my waterfall chart, it shows you that the future for Hex looks pretty good. And there are a few little alphas I dropped the other day that are going to play out there. Liquidity in the Pulse chain. Don't forget, we've got in the sacrifice, we had about $660 million in that. Obviously, no expectations, but imagine just 10 to 20 million of that going into Hex. This is a wild card thing, but of course, that would just get Hex back up to 40, 50 cents. So this is the way it goes. Anyway, no expectations, but there's all these sorts of different wild cards out there that they're going to play out too in the future. I imagine that they will probably funnel through Pulsechain though, but they could do pre-Pulsechain launch. Some of these wild cards could play out then. We will find out. All right, cool. I think that's kind of we're up to on there. So we're going to jump over to the BNB coins. We're up to an hour and 1 minute. Man, it's just flying like that. Damn. All right, so we've got Pulse Dodge there at 4/10 of a penny. Just a little bit of an uptrend there, but still going. We got P33 pretty much struggling at 10 cents, just under 10 cents there. And we got IM there at just under 1,000, and we're trying to hold on to that. So they're slightly, apart from P33, the other two are just trying to move higher. But P33 struggling there at the moment. So we'll see. The airdrops, we've got Pulse Dodge coin at $3.63. So you can see that there. And of course, we've got the weight token just under 6/10 of a penny there. And of course, they're moving along as well. Now, obviously, we're waiting for staking and minting and Dodge Bitcoin, all that sort of stuff, the dual token system. I think there'll be a few gamification surprises possibly in here. So I think this will have another day in the office and do well later on. I think obviously Hedron's doing well. It's holding up quite well. But I think that the next players are the Maxi play and then the Pulse Dodge play, depending on when the staking comes out. I do think it's going to come out soon, and it's kind of in that order. Let's have a look at the wildcards. I'm going to call this wildcards. I got it related, but we're going to call it wildcards. We've got Dodeca there at 28 cents. Not a lot of change from earlier in the day. And we've got PZM, and there's a couple of investors that, people watching the channel that are invested in this. And that is, looks like it may try and break out now. This is looking more likely to break out now. So we have got a pretty hot on the RSI, but it's still got room to move. We might get a little breakout and then a profit taking is what we'll probably get here. So it may break out to the upside and then get profit taked straight up, pretty high here. Maybe just, I don't know how that's going to move, but probably get rejected up here somewhere before it hits 1 cent. It'll probably get rejected, or maybe just spike through 1 cent and get profit taked out of there. It's probably what will happen. We will see. The breakout could be super strong. Maybe it goes up to a couple of cents. Who knows? Yeah, so far the RSI is a little bit overdone there. So cool. Yeah, it's looking looking actually good for breakout, but it hasn't done it yet. It's just looking good, like it's almost ready, jacked to go, but it's not gone yet. All right, cool. Those are the charts. We're going to give an update on PulsePot. Of course, we talked about in the first live stream, and of course, man, I love the innovation here. The first auction is up for grabs. Now, this is the second phase of PulsePot. PulsePot itself is launching on the 14th of September. That's when it's due to launch, and it's going to be launching on BNB chain only because Pulsechain's not around. It's waiting for Pulsechain to do Pulsechain launch. It's going to be launching on 5 chains. I couldn't remember the 5th chain this morning. I don't think I still remember it now. I know it's pretty obvious in my brain, but I forgot to check it. But BNB, Pulsechain, Aave, Polygon, and the other one I should say all the time. I just can't remember today. It's like brain freeze. But anyway, that's going good. Let me know in the chat if you remember. And of course, we've got PLSS Roulette. This is the second phase. So basically, they're doing the auction now, but they're going to launch these later. And of course, the highest bid at the moment is 2.5 Ethereum there. And of course, it's PLS Roulette, which should be the most popular if you think about it. Although we've got all these are pretty heavyweights: PulseX, Hex Roulette, PLSP, Hedron, PLSD, Maxi, and USDL. Really good combination. Not sure what's happening with this one though. This is a bit weird. Auction ended. That's not the first auction. This is the first auction, so I'm not sure. I guess it's has to wait for USDL to launch because it's launching 6 to 8 weeks after Pulsechain. So if you think there's going to be a dip in Pulsechain, it will be very short-lived in Pulsechain because we've got all the leveraged lending coming in from liquid loans and fiat and everything else coming 4 to 6 weeks after Pulsechain launches. So there's going to be very little room for the price to move down. So my general expectation is super bullish, but with volatility about the Pulsechain and Pulsex prices, etc. We'll get rid of all the big whales or sharks that decide to sell out. We'll get rid of them and move on. It's basically what's going to happen. All right, so we've got 2.5 Ethereum in there at the moment is the bid. Now, the minimum reserve was 1 Ethereum. So it's $1,500. It's now the price there is 4,000. We've only got one bid in at the moment, I think. Yes, one bid there at 2.5. So pretty cool. That's going to be fun to see this, man. This is a frontier innovation, the ability to own the tables in a casino privately rather than the house owning them. 2.7% edge, 3% tax fee going into buy and burn PLSP, the native token on this. And of course, it's going to be fun. So it's only about 1 million tokens. And of course, 804,000 are owned by individuals outside the team and stuff like that. So cool. So looking forward, we're going to look for that. Now, the other thing, of course, we've got Power City. Power City here is done pretty well. I think they've got their big party coming on. And come join the Power City community party in Las Vegas. And of course, they have, I think they've sold the tickets out, I think they have 7 hours ago. I think they've sold them out on Power City. Man, Power City is going to be doing the cross-chain swaps and, of course, NFT marketplaces, and of course the the Power City Flex, which is going to be building on top of Hex as well. But they're targeting Pulsechain at the moment. I do hope that they launch on Ethereum. That'd be pretty cool because then people get a copy on Pulsechain and they'll actually have a product live, which would be pretty alpha from them. So yeah, I think this party, I think they have sold their tickets, I thought, but I could be wrong about that. Let me check. Someone sent me an email, but I think I've closed that down, so I can't check that one. All right, cool. So we've got meetups in Pulse in Las Vegas. I know that Kate Ferguson's going to be there. Brian, I think, is going to be there, and a few others. On the 5th of September, the Pulse Masters Golf Tournament's going to be on. That's going to be cool, and you can read more about that. So I'll post that afterwards. So we've got the Pulse Tournament there, the golf tournament. Should be a lot of fun. Going to be the ladies golf tournament, team tournaments, $20,000 hole-in-one prize there, sponsored by Internet Money with KG and the team. So it's going to be fun. And it's going to be lots of things happening there on the 5th. There's all the participant options, etc. So that's going to be cool. We've got the DeFi ladies, sexy ladies at the Rick Pleb Cabana pool party. And of course, this looks cool to me. This is the sort of place I like. I tell you guys that every time. But I love this sort of place here. So it's cool. What else there? We got the Power City Pulsechain party. We talked about that. Looks like I think they've sold out. I think they have. They had sold out there. Tickets are almost sold out 7 hours ago, so it's almost sold out. So if you want to pick up those, you can. I'm going to post that in the chat there if you want to pick up a ticket, because that looks like it's almost gone. So cool. There it is. That is the Power City one. Now this party looks like it's going to be pretty off the charts. Looks like they've sold it out pretty much. I think it's going to be a pretty epic party. The meetups, of course, is happy hour as well. It's going to be at the Gatsby Cocktail Lounge on the 8th of September. And of course, they're going to have, it looks like a pretty cool venue as well. What stays in Las Vegas, though? Stays in Las Vegas. Is that what happens in Las Vegas? Stays in Las Vegas. That's it. So that's cool. So there are the meetups. I'll post that in the chat as well if you want to check that out. And what's the last thing? I think we've got Pulsecon, the official largest crypto event in Las Vegas on the 5th, the pool party. So they've got extra features here. Pool party, number 6, the conference. And on the 7th, the conference. So it's Conference Expo on the 6th and the 7th. And, of course, this has been condensed down since they changed venue to fit in the budgets and everything like that. And on the 8th, they've got the after party at Nagabo's Mansion Party, which is going to be insane. But it does finish at 1 o'clock, so it's not going to be too insane, right? Unless in Vegas, things can happen a lot before 1 o'clock. But the Power City one is going to be going all the way through it's going through to like 6 o'clock in the morning or something. So I think this one here is probably 5 a.m. is probably going to be more insane at 5 o'clock there. So that's going to be fun. I won't be at any of these, of course, but it's going to be at the World View at the World Market Center there, Las Vegas, and of course 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For the conference there. So cool. I like the pool party though. That would probably suit me. 3 days and 10 hours to go. We're getting pretty close, and so that's on too. So I'll post that in the link as well. Very cool. That is the link there. Let me post that. Bam. And it's always good to finish with the community stuff, eh? That's what we say, but we're going to watch the charts for a little bit. But that is the keynote speakers there. So cool. Rich Hart himself, of course, and all these other people. I see Ernie's been promoted up the top here, which is interesting. And Mike Johns. I don't know any of these people. Mitch Lowe. I've seen Mitch Lowe before, I think. Robbie Tout, I don't know. And George Chanos, I've seen, but I don't know him either. Yeah, blockchain's going to have all the stuff. All the teams are going to be there, of course. We've got Dip Catcher's going to be there with Gold Key. So cool. All these supporters here, they're going to be there, I guess. I'm not sure how they've rearranged that between them. Obviously, the PulseCon after party with obviously Nagabo and the pool party there. What's the pool party? Do we have a look on here? It doesn't actually. I think it has. Oh, does it have a picture? Does it have a picture of the pool party? I don't know if it's a pool party there. Thought it might have pictures, but no pictures there of the pool. Thought it might have the pool there. Founders panels, of course, going to have Mike Chan, Gerardo, Crypto Black Sheep, Anders Johnson there. So Dip Catcher's still going to be there, which is cool. Michael Moha, Rudy Wrong, Corner Torres there. It looks like this is all still on. I don't think there's any changes here. Let me know if I'm incorrect about that, but I think this is all what's going to be on the 2 days conference. You've got lots of new people here that we didn't have here before. What's this one panel? Music Entertainment panel. That's cool. I'm just trying to think if I've seen any of these people before. I have not. NFTs. Jake Gallen. Teddy Compost there. Who else there? Cole Parker. So cool. Freedom panel. Dollar Cost Crypto. We know him. And Thothschild. So cool. Tony Zalasa, of course. Lawrence Roland as well on the development panel. There's a few new ones there as well. So cool. That's what's going on at PulseCon. We're just scrolling through the affiliates, all the affiliates. You can get a 50% off, of course. You definitely use that, of course. And I think that's all the sponsors. Pretty impressive. And, of course, the location in Las Vegas there. So cool. All right. So nice. That's very cool. So we've got lots of that happening. And Las Vegas, of course, I won't be there, being stuck down the bottom of the world. This is the way it goes. And let's play a little bit of the I got a cool video file. I do love this one. We're going to play 2 of these. Why not? Well, actually, we'll play just one. Play the golf one. This is pretty cool. So let's go.
2, 1, swing. That's looking good. Oh, yeah. That's in the hole. Whoa. That's in. That's it.
All right, so that was a bit of hype there. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, we've probably got a few more comments in there. Let's have a look here. What else there? I think we got Matt and Barley says, sorry, I missed that. So only Hex stakers get Hedron Maxi. Only Hex stakers get Hedron Maxi, and all the rest non-stakers. Not sure, Matt, what you're saying there. Maybe get onto Discord, but what I'm saying is that if you get Hex, you can't go wrong with getting Hex. Obviously, the Maxi premium is going up, so you need more Hex to get Maxi now. It's now at 2.19, which is basically the all-time high. And, of course, we did have this one spike, but really this is the all-time high. Like a solid high there. So, yeah, it's this may keep going up. Like I say, we just don't know what the market's going to do there. But, of course, the burn, if there's a significant amount of Maxi that goes into team token, then the burn, effectively the supply is going to shrink dramatically for the 30th biggest stake in Hex, which is the 15th biggest shark, 42,000 T-shares. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there, Matt. You do, when you stake Hex as a native Hex stake, you'll get Hedron, 1 Hedron per B share per day served. So if the longer you stake, the more you'll get. Basically, the more T-shares you got, the more you get in volume as well. If you do an HSI, the same is true on that one. So yeah, hopefully I'm answering your question there, Matt. Adan says, hey Superman, great stream champ, can't wait for the Max Perpetual and the team launch. Now Hex has great identity with Hedron Arcosa, and now Maxi is rocketing to a new level. The future is now Hex. Adan says, absolutely, you got it in a nutshell with that one. Hey Matt and Barley, at the Hex conversation in Vegas, I was pushed to not only claim but to buy and big on Hedron. Glad I did say stakes Hex. Got nervous for months, but it's paid off. Yeah. So the other thing I was going to say, Matt, in November, there's going to be a massive HSI auction on Hedron. And, of course, something like 40, 50,000 T-shares, something in that ballpark, and over maybe 5,000 HSIs within a 2-week period, probably half of that up front on the first day on the 13th, 14th there. So it's going to be huge. And that's going to have a massive hedron burn because the winning bids of those auctions get burned. And, of course, probably trillions of hedron there. And, of course, the HSIs go to all the winning bidders. And, of course, the ICOSA reward yield's going to be massive inflation period. I think we worked out there's 11.5 million ICOSA in the market at the moment, both liquid and staked. And, of course, that excludes accrued hedron payments. And, of course, that's going to be massive. Massive inflation event coming in November. It's going to last for 2 weeks, and of course, at least, and go on, obviously based on HSI auctions. But yeah, it's going to be a massive inflation event, and that's going to go to all the stakers. So if you're staking Hedron, staking Okosa, staking, if you've got what's NFTs, it's going to be a major payout. So it's a bit like the big payday, and those people are all early still, even in November, still early. And of course, over time, of course, it's all tied into the Hex share rate, but of course that's going to take time to play out if you think about it. So how high the price of Hedron can get and stay up is always a question for the market. So you don't need necessarily, they're still going to go through parabolic price rises and falls, right? It's just the way it goes. People have big X's and they take profits. But there is a heck of a lot of staking with Hedron now, which is pretty bullish. What else we got here? Hexonium says, I hope MetaMask will not be overheated when Pulsechain launches. Yeah, that's funny, man. I like that. We're going to have Internet Money Wallet, man, hopefully by then. It seems like Internet Money Wallet will be there when Pulsechain launches at this rate. It was a 7 or 8 month build, and they've been doing very well with the build out. And, of course, we've got Rich Art working on his MetaMask wallet as well. He's got, I think, 2 devs on that. So we're expecting that to come too. What else there? Golf. Yeah, golf tournament. Yeah, for the golf. Hopefully we'll get some winners there. They're going to have ladies golf, team golf, individuals golf, and all sorts of stuff. Lots of prizes too, different prizes for different like hole-in-ones and things. $20,000 for hole-in-one, which is pretty epic. Nice one there from Internet Money and KG there. Matt and Barley says stake Hex could work. Yeah, you can't go wrong staking Hex, Matt. And of course, you get great yield in Hex, but of course the price upside is the bigger play, right? And you heard Richard himself say that last time. A massive price upside. But if you get yield plus price play on Hex, then you're doing really well. And as we say, even if you don't get involved in Maxi and Hedron and all the rest of them, they are eating up the Hex circulating supply, right? With the HSI stakes and the perpetuals and all that sort of stuff, all eating up Hex, and that bodes well for the longer term period because it's happening on such a large scale. Like I say, potentially we could end up with maybe 1.5 billion Hex staked through just those 2 protocols alone. And we've got the Power City Flex coming later, and maybe other projects will come. Other team members will look at doing pooled stakes and other variations on that as well. Maybe dual token systems. There's lots of things that could be coming in the future. And so, yeah, bodes well. Speculative, of course, but definitely coming down the line. Pulsechain Hex Crypto says, do you have any thoughts on Dodeca? I saw the founder Jim Ray on Ray Crypto. It buys and distributes Hex to holders. Yeah, the problem is I talked about that Pulsechain Hex, and the day after I talked about it, it moved down from $1 and went all the way down to 28 cents. I did talk about that earlier on the price charts. And, of course, you can see Dodeca here. We have added to our coverage on this channel. But typically these projects all end up failing because they cycle downwards in terms of trade volume, and therefore they buy less and less Hex, and therefore the price, the capital value, even though it's cheaper to get more 369 Dodeca, it just keeps trading itself down. They end up dying, and the community gets bored and they move on to something else. That's typically what you see happen. So unless they do something very special about keeping people around, that people interested in growing, unless they are successful doing that, then it will slowly die a death, spiral down. At the moment, of course, 28 cents. It was only $1, only a little while ago. Now, apparently, the people that sacrificed got it in for about 8 cents. Someone said in the chat the other day. So that means that there's still a pretty nice premium above that already that could be sold down into. The early players have obviously sold at the beginning here. You can get, it would have cost you $369 to get 369 Dodeca to get the Hex payments from the trading volume. So basically, if you hold, you get paid the Hex volume. If you sell out, you lose. You don't get any of that. So that's kind of the thing there. But it is obviously cheaper, dramatically cheaper now to pick up 369. But once again, there's still people in there with big gains. And if the market goes bearish, then they all sell out and the price dumps. And of course, the volume trade out gets lower. And of course, if Hex price goes up, it's going to be lower too. because it's going to cost more trade value to get the US dollars to get the Hex. So it kind of just spirals itself down. I said that back up here, and what happened after that went down. Now, obviously, it's just maybe a coincidence, but of course, it did play out basically how I said it was going to do. And this may happen again. It may continue to happen. Those are my thoughts on it. Hopefully, that gives you some things to think about. Obviously, not investment advice, just my opinion. But typically, we've seen these all just cycle down. All right, cool. I really got to stop leaving comments on the chat there. I apologize for it. It's just sometimes you just forget about it sometimes because you're focused on the charts. Dan says, "Hey, Superman, how would you go about maxing perpetual in the team tokens?" And how I kind of talked about that earlier, Dan. I'm not sure if you must have missed that maybe. And how long do you have to stake team tokens to earn the rewards for all pools? Only for 1 year or more. You have to be there at least for 1 year to get the rewards there. Dan, there is a penalty if you early in stake of 3.69%, and that's why team token will be deflationary. But there's a one-to-one minting. So for every maxi that's put into mint team, there's a one-to-one mint. But the mystery box gets a copy of all the team tokens. So basically, the team token supply is doubled, and it goes to the mystery box, and no one knows what it's going to do. Presumably, it's going to be benevolent. I couldn't imagine why would you make an antagonistic bad player. It's not a movie after all, or something like that. So yeah, we'll see. Now, in terms of the time frame, some of the interesting things, I think these are some of the interesting properties. The short-term base token will be the most liquid, likely. Could get the most Hex in it, possibly. Either that or the Decky will, one of the two. This kind of expectations. In the original poll they did at the beginning, the base token and the Decky token were the most popular that people said they were going to go into. What people do and what people say are different. Plus, since that time, we've had a lot more information discovery. Dipcatcher's done lots of YouTube videos on it. I do strongly suggest you go and watch Dipcatcher's videos on a lot of those, what the returns are, what the strategies around them are. It's definitely valuable to do that if you're going to be investing in that. The other thing, of course, is that the base is likely to be the most liquid pair. It probably will factor in some of the yield early into the price and maybe get a bit of a premium from that. Now, that's a speculation on my part, but of course, we've seen that with the Maximus contract. And of course, because it's the most liquid as well, it's a quick way of people staking Hex and getting a bit more yield up front and possibly get hyped up as well. So I might see some speculative play in there. On the 7-year yields about 23%, somewhere in that ballpark. Once again, watch Dipcatcher videos, it's about 23%. And of course, that there is going to come out. Probably the bigger play that is the price play because it's going to come out just at the beginning of all the Hex stakes coming out after 10 years in the year 2030. So it's going to obviously September. If it gets staked in September, it's just at the beginning of that wave of massive stakes coming out. So you can actually see that on the chart. So that from a price perspective, if the price of Hex is the highest at that point before those stakes come out, then that would be the best play on the price upside. Slightly low on the yield versus the Decky, which is about 28%, but that would be the better play, right? So cool. So we have these all the Hex stakes coming out in 10 years in 2030. So, from 2020 to 2030. And of course, September here is right at the beginning of them. Look, it's right at the front. So if it stakes then, obviously that's got the 18th here, but it's slightly later, 26th or whatever, when it stakes, all those stakes, then yeah, the 7-year will come out just for those. So that could be pretty lucrative from a price point of view. If the price is really ramped up in this area, I don't know what the price is going to be in 2029, 2030, but if scarcity has come into the place like we're looking at the moment, and Hex is relatively scarce, then the price could be very high. And of course, it's before all this volume comes into play. I do suspect, though, that some of this volume will eventually in-stake if we do get a price rise in 25, 26, something like that. And it's worth people burning their big payday and some of their interest. They'll all be 50% through their stake period, and so they won't be attacking their principal. That may very well happen as well. So just remember that. So that's probably your thoughts on there. The 10-year is coming out, I guess, in 30, somewhere there. So Decky coming somewhere around there. And of course, there's nothing out there, right? But you would have had a lot of the inflationary events. Probably get a lot of restaking from the people that come out with this big candle and these ones here, all these ones here. Probably get a lot of restaking throughout all these gaps in here. But yeah, that's kind of where we are at this stage. Hex is going to be very scarce. Now, the Hex payout past year 10, so past this point here, is this is when the Hex yield will really start to climb because the amount of T-shares will get really, really scarce out here. So the Hex payout per T-share will be really, really, really high. So about 40 Hex per T-share, 50 Hex, something like that. It's going to be some pretty interesting numbers. You can actually see some numbers, predictions from Crypto Sparbook. They've done a couple annual presentations on that on the Crypto Sparbook YouTube channel. You can see that too. Obviously, we've got the Hex Gold Whale, the Maximus Stakes out here as well. They're going to be obviously the Juggernaut out in the future in this time frame up in 2037 and stuff like that. Now, obviously, depending on how young you are, that's going to be a big deal. I just realized that I've got the big comment in front of the chat there. I do apologize. Man, it's the third time I've done it this live stream. It really does annoy me. All right, so I've got to make sure I keep a behavior looking at the studio as well as the chart. So, yeah, so this is the time period here. That is what I was saying at first. So this is a 7-year decky coming out just before the stakes, 10 years out. So that'd be a good price play, possibly. And we don't know what the price is going to be, but that would be the better time because all the volume's coming afterwards. And then the 10-year play is out here. So just to double check that since I was talking with the comment in front of it. Cool. Hopefully that helps. What else we got there? Crypto 7. Well done on the fitness challenge. Wealth is useless without your health. That is true. Crypto 7. That is true. And good to see Crypto 7 in the house there. You must have hit 5555 now. I'm sure of it. Let's go check crypto. Let's go check it. And of course, where are we up to? We're going to go and check. We're going to scroll all the way down and the pulse tube. Let's go see it. This is going to be good. Let's go and check that. We're going to go all channels. We're going to go with the 555. He hasn't added a above 555 subs yet. I'm still waiting for that. Crypto 7. Oh, it's still there at the moment. Surely you must have hit the 555. Yes, 570. Woo! Well done, man. Well done. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Awesome, Crypto 7. Crypto 7 is now out of the 555 club there, or in the 555 plus club. So good to see that, Crypto 7. Well deserved, man. Keep up the alpha streaming. Absolutely like a boss over there in the UK. And of course, big stuff there. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Crypto 7. But you've hit the 555 onwards and upwards now. 10,000 now, Crypto 7. If you thought that 555 was hard, now 10,000 is the next play. That's the way it goes. Hey, that's the way it goes. But Pulsechain's coming, and of course, Crypto 7's killing it on the streams there. Really well done on that one. So awesome, very cool. Now you'll pop off this one here probably by tomorrow, Crypto 7. You'll probably jump on there. Randy Alasky is next up. If you haven't subbed to Randy Alasky, he's one of my favorite Hexkins. Go give him a sub. He's at 5444 there. Definitely go and give Randy Alasky a sub there. I'm going to post Randy's channel in there as well. So definitely hit that. Very, very cool. So big well done. Another one at the 555 plus club. Music Richard said yesterday he will launch PLS on interview. Oh, really? Where was that? I didn't see that. More like a debate, not interview, says Music Addict. Yeah. Post that link in Discord if you got the timestamp, Music Addict. If you can post it in the link in the description. In the Discord with the timestamp to his comment about that. Let us know. That'd be cool. Well done, says DB Cooper. Yeah, well done. Woo-hoo-hoo, says Wookie. Yeah, absolutely. Very nice. Yeah, to give Randy a sub there. He's almost at the 555 plus club as well, onwards and upwards. And I think there's a little gap between the next one. Crypto Sparbook team there. That's the one I was talking about. They've got Hex to T-share price predictions on there, so you can check that. Every year they do those. Hopefully they're going to do another one coming up on year 3 or whatever. So yeah, 5,003 there on Crypto Sparbook. So nice. All right, so cool. Let's jump out of there. And what time are we up to? 1 hour and 30. So it's a good time to wrap up. We're going to jump out of there. I will probably redo this presentation again and do a short video on that. So let's jump out of there. At the moment, we've got almost 220. Woohoo, 2.12. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That is so cool, man. Cheers, everybody. Maxi to maxi. And of course, we've still got a couple of days to go before it launches. Insane in the membrane. We've got a breakout. Hex Hodl, let me know where you think the price, where it's going to go to. You can let me know on Discord if you want to put it in chat. I'd be pretty entertained by that. It was yesterday's music ad. Yeah, if you can post the timestamp link to it in the Discord, that would be really cool. Music ad. I never saw anything on the video. I'd watched it, but not in full. I jumped to Pulsechain and Hex topics. But if you had if I missed it, let me know in Discord with the timestamp. Would be appreciated if you know where that is in the video. all you have to do is right click the screen and get a timestamp of that particular area, and then post it in the Discord under general. Be perfectly good. Now, obviously, where are we up to here? We've got Koji just joined, so we've got a few new people joined the Discord. Actually, I'll just normally I put projects on that. So what we do, we'll do a pulse pot there. So we had a few people join. A lot of people joined lately, actually. So we had on the 2nd September. Let's just do right back to the September. We had Reef Donkey join, MS join, Pepe Grinjuado Gordo join, Crypto Rampage join, a Yash Plate join, Supplement join there, Davey B. Some interesting names there. A good old Foggy there's is in house as well. Greenhorn, a Khalifa there. Sir Galahex, I like that. Sir Galahex, that's pretty funny. The Iceman joined yesterday. Ling joined, and Koji. We are currently at 686 members and heading towards 700 in Discord. Is cool. Very, very cool. Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex is a great to represent that on Discord. And of course, yeah, great stuff. If you like good information, good community, hit the link in the video description and join us in there. It is syndicated with Jen Hex, Craig Wading, and of course Heinz Crypto as well. And of course we've got awesome moderators, Brian, head moderator, communicator there, and of course Fat Sammy, Sandy Beach, and others in there as well. So it's pretty alpha as too. And Links, Links is in there too. So nice. All right, what else there? We got. It's okay. I see what you mean now, says Crypto7. And he said he will launch. He didn't say when. All right. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. I don't remember picking anything up on that. You got to be very careful with this as a content creator with what you say on YouTube around launch dates, because you can either get yourself mocked, or you can get yourself lose credibility, or you can be wrong. Want something in there, right? Crypto7, you got to be careful of what you say. People, as an influencer, people listen to what you say there. It can either be good or bad. Oh, we had a little bit of sell there in the old Maxi there. It's at 2.14, but we have hit 2.1965. And it doesn't look like it's going to rebate here. Let's see how we get on though. We've still got 3 days to go, or 2 days, 3 days. I guess the third, second, 2 days, say. 48 hours to go until the launch on the 5th, on the morning of the 5th of September. The team will require Maxi 1-to-1. The Perpetuals, Base Trio, Lucky and Dicky. Each of those staking pools require Hex and a 1-to-1 mint as well. Obviously, there'll be a simple website, which is, have we got that? I have got that here somewhere. Let's go. We've got the sites here. These apps will be available for you to mint the team. And of course, that's going to be pretty easy to use. These apps is where you're going to do it. When they go live, these will be live. Obviously, they've got a new website as well, which looks pretty amazing. So this is the Maxi one. Make sure I'm on the right chain here. Yep. So let's refresh that. Maximus, not the new site. Where's Maximus, the website? Have I not got that one? I thought I had it. Any case, let's jump over. Hopefully it's might take a second to render, but it's going to probably pop up there. I'm going to go to the YouTube channel. Maximus. I think we have the website here somewhere. Where else there? Maximus DAO. Yeah, I thought that the website was up here recently, but I can't see it. It's funny. It's just got launched, but I can't find it. How hilarious is that? Maybe I have Maximus there. Maximus dot.dao. I think it's on there. That's right. Can't even remember now. Cash. That is the website at the moment. But yeah, there we are. So with the team, all you're going to have to do is there'll be a minting button up here. And you just mint, put your Maxi in. You have to prove your Maxi spend and then mint your team tokens. And then you'll be able to stake your team tokens as well. You can see I've got a stake here at the moment, 2,808 team here. This is on testnet, but it gives you an idea of the rewards. The rewards there, you can see the rewards. Hex, Hedron, Maxi. There could be other tokens as well. in the future drops as well. So could become a very lucrative thing being a team DAO token. You're going to benefit from the growth of the ecosystem. That'd be cool. What else have we got there? I think that's kind of neat. That's the site. And finally, let's have a look at the perpetuals. Wasn't planning on looking at this, but we're looking at it now anyway. Maximus.cash is great, right? Yeah. I was thinking about the website though. I think it's maximus.io. We might actually put that in there. Maximus.io. I think that might be the site I'm thinking of. There's the perpetuals. So the base, the minting phase is over on the test network, but when it goes live, this will be probably something like with this site here. You'll be able to select your base trio and mint those respectively. You have to approve the spend for Hex, and then you mint the tokens. Very easy. And then of course you can add the contract address to your MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet you're using, and then you'll see your ownership tokens at the end of the 21-day mint phase. At 21 end of the 21-day mint phase, all the Hex that you put into these pools will get staked. So if you put minted the trio with your Hex, that's going to get staked for 3 years at the end of the 21-day mint phase. So basically the 26th of September there. So it's pretty cool. You got all the rules here as well. So it's pretty easy read. Very simple process. Approve the spend and then mint your tokens, and then your tokens will be in your wallet. Those are your ownership tokens. They represent your share of the staking pool. And of course, then you see what the market does. Liquidity. Some people will set up liquidity pairs, and you're going to see what the market decides to price it, if it gets a premium, like Maxi does. Obviously, they're all on different time frames. They've all got pros and cons to them. So yeah, it's going to be pretty easy to do that. So those will be out on the 5th of September. And of course, you'll be able to get access to those. There's no rush. It's 21 days. No rush. The only rush might be if the Hex price gets pumped or Maxi is getting pumped like it is now. That's the only thing that really causes an issue there. So cool. Yeah, I can't find the website. I'll try to pull it up next time. All right, so here we are. We've got the Maxi Premium at 2.14. We've got Hex at 4.2 cents almost. We've got 5,360 on the Hedron pair, and we've got $1.25 on Icosa. That's looking pretty good. So we're going to close out everything else. We're up to an hour and 37, which is really, really cool. Who doesn't mind? Maximus.com. Yeah, MaximusDAO.com. Thanks, man. I don't know why it wasn't showing up on my MaximusDAO.com. I don't know why. Probably because I forgot to add the Maximus DAO. Oh, that's not working either. Did I misspell it? Maximus DAO. Let me just check there. MaximusDAO.com. .com. Okay. We'll get there in the end, folks. All right. Yeah, there it is there. So that's the new website. That looks amazing. I love the picture that he's used. It really is cool. A very cool picture there. Build your empire for generations to come. High growth, income producing crypto assets to secure legacy. There's a video, of course, and get started video site here. So that's going to take you to the bottom there. Join the team. Maximus team is a member of token of Maximus DAO, mint and stake team to earn rewards and the success of Maxi. Learn more. I like these little animations you put in there. Maximum yield, instant liquidity, and gas savings. So those are some of the key benefits you're going to get there. Maximum yield, instant liquidity, and gas savings. That's pretty cool. Earn infinite yield on the perpetuals. So the base trio, Lucky and Dicky. The perpetuals are Hex staking pools of different lengths that perpetually roll forward and compound yield forever. So it's going to be pretty neat. Future proof of your portfolio. Maximus DAO products are secure smart contracts. No admin key, immutable smart contracts, audited code. Obviously, the code just audit came through the other day, and it was all good. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? And it was all good. And of course, you can follow them on Twitter or Telegram. So that's pretty easy. That is the way to go. All right, so cool. Let's wrap it up, mate. Or should we just hang out for a little bit longer and watch the price chart? And of course, we all like green charts, so it's no surprise. Michael and House there. Hello from Philly. Good to see you, Michael. A big shout out to Philadelphia, I guess. Philly, good old Philly. Superman, can you just swap some Maxi for team without staking? Just curious. Yes, you can. You can swap some Maxi for team and speculate on the price premium. Get Hex, you can do that. I just answered my question. Yeah. Seriously, why am I ghosted, says DB. I'm not sure, DB. No one's ghosting you as far as I know. Yeah, I don't think so. Dan says, thank you for clarifying that, Superman. I am in for the long haul, so I can't wait for the launch. I was skeptical before, but I am learning from you. Thanks, mate. That is why you have the best channel. Hey, thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. There are many good content creators out there, but I am consistent. I'll give myself that much, and of course, have been around for a long time. GetX says, I just caught up on the stream. Big thumbs up to you, GetX. DB Cooper says, you can't post links unless you're a mod. Yeah, that's true, DB. Actually, DB, welcome to the team, man. I'm going to make you a mod. So there we are. Welcome to the team. All right, cool. Welcome, team. DB, you are a moderator now. So there we are. With the great powers come great responsibility. All right, welcome. One day closer to Pulsechain, DB. One day closer. Remember, it's a family channel and no drama channel. That's what we like to pride ourselves on, those two principles. And it's a place where everyone hopefully will feel welcome as we focus on the key Pumpamentals moving forward. It's going to be cool. Hey, we're up to an hour and 40. I'm going to go to an hour and 45. So we're going to be on here for another 5 minutes. What do you guys think? I think that's a good idea. And then we're going to break out for some dinner. What am I going to have? Fish and vegetables, actually. I'm not sure how many vegetables I got, but maybe fish. If my mate comes over, I might have to just take a little break on my Superman Fitness Challenge because I think he'll probably want to get Chinese food, which is probably not too bad. Probably not too bad. TV, cheers. Win Pulse there. One day closer. One day closer. Congrats, his Briz. You got a wrench. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Win Chinese food, sir. Maybe 1 hour closer, says Superman. Criticism says RH wasn't forthcoming yesterday, but was too toxic environment. I know it was. It was very. There was 2 of them trying to become heroes to take down the mighty Richard Hart. That was pretty hilarious. But the problem is, like I say, these guys don't do their full homework, and they have very clear biases, which is unfortunate. A couple of their comments I could relate to, but really, if you think about them, they're actually a moot point in the scheme of things. So that's how I'd put that one. Do you think? Do you see ALGO more similar to a stablecoin? I've heard some hexagons say this. Not sure. I think that they just mean it's a good coin to take profits in. But I wonder if I could go crazy. It could go crazy like Hedron. Yeah, I expect to see a lot of inflation with ALGO early on and then slowly decrease over time. That's probably the way I look at ALGO. A stable coin is definitely not a stable coin. But yeah, it's definitely cool. I've seen that too. People comment on that, but no. A stable coin is a stable coin. And Hex, people talk about Hex becoming a stable coin in the future. I don't see what they really mean is that will it have higher underlying price in the future and keep their value? That's kind of where I think what they mean by that. But that's still not a stable coin, right? So yeah, stable coin, we like to peg it. Some people think, they hate fiat, the fiat, of course, because it's getting deflated over time. But yeah, I wouldn't say that. Adan says, so when you have a team token, we are open to stake on all perpetual pools. So yeah, when you get a team token, you can stake it for a year, and then you will benefit. You can stake it and just keep restaking it, and then you can benefit from. You must claim the stake at the end to get the rewards, and of course that will just restake that one and take a hex to any pool. But what's going to happen is that when all the perpetuals mature, so the base matures every year, you're going to get paid 50% of the bigger pays better bonus, and hex will go to the team stakers. If you're staked, you'll get that at the end of the year. You'll get on year 3, you not only get the base, but you get the trio perpetual bigger pays better bonus as well. So you get 2 of those, the base and the trio. You get 50% of the bigger pays better bonus, which is hex. You'll also get year 3 of maxi paid to you as well, which will be 5% of the maxi that went in. Remember, 30% goes into the reward pool for year 3, 6, and 9. 5% of that gets paid out in year 3. So you're going to have 3 yields in that 1 year for that. Plus, there's a third component. You'll also get the Hedron as well from the perpetuals and all those from the base every year and the trio in year 3. And of course, year 7, you'll get the Lucky and the Dicky in year 10. So you get those as well in the future. So if you had a spreadsheet, you could add all those values up. And of course, there is a spreadsheet. I got a presentation that I did the other day. The other thing, of course, is you will grow out the ecosystem, and there's going to be the optionality there to drop other tokens to you as a team staker, which could come up as well. So remember that. So it's going to the upside potential in addition to those the bigger pays better 50% from the perpetuals, the 369 maxi payments, and the Hedron is the fact that other tokens and other ecosystems could grow. Now, I suspect this is phase 2 with the team and Maximus launch, with the perpetuals launch. Sorry, I suspect phase 2. Phase 3, I suspect that we'll get ownership token staking as well of the perpetuals and the maxi possibly. As well. So that's going to be fun to see that. Obviously, we've got to have team staking. You get those rewards, but we could see that as well. And that's going to take a lot of that stuff off the market, which would make the underlying price even higher. And therefore, all the tokens that you potentially could get for the team token could get more better value as well. So there's lots of Pumpamentals in the future. We'll stay tuned. Obviously, the third phase is speculation, but of course, Dipcatcher did allude to that at the end of Crypto Copy's video the other day. That's right at the end of that video, so you can just go right to the end and see that. So yeah, there's lots to think about, but basically, just stake your team token, sit back and enjoy the growth of the ecosystem, and the perpetuals choose the one that you feel is going to do best. You can spread it out like a staking ladder. That's what I suggest. If you are going to commit to the ecosystem, you can get the staking pools. So you can go put a bit in the Hex. Let's say you had 20,000 Hex, for example. You could put in 5,000 in base, 5,000 in trio, 5,000 lucky, 5,000 in decky, or you can redistribute it to the ones you think are going to do better, so forth. Typically, the long ones have the higher yield premium on the market. The market will price that up based on the maxi example. Obviously, the market may not do that, so you've got to be careful there. The other thing, of course, is that you should get some team token as well. That way you get, enjoy both worlds there. Plus you get all the hedron and the half of the bigger pays better bonus. Plus enjoy the growth of the ecosystem as they expand more products and stuff. So definitely worth doing. Now, I do strongly suggest if you're going to do that, you've got 2 days. Go and watch Dipcatcher's videos on Dipcatcher's channel on YouTube. And of course, watch some of those. You'll get a lot of insights into yield, into some of the gamification. And he's really done the best coverage of that exploration. He's done they're very long videos, but he's done pretty in-depth coverage there, and he's a very smart dude, obviously, the dev of Maximus. So cool. I think that was it, Dan. We'll definitely check out the video to learn more. Cheers. No, you're welcome. What did you say? So I'm allowed to stake my Hex and pools so long as I have team token champ. Now, you don't have to have team token, but I would suggest if you're going to go into the perpetuals with Hex, you should probably get some maxi and go into the team as well. That's probably the way I'll talk about that. Crypto 7 in the house, says Matt and Bali. He is indeed. At least he was earlier. All right, cool. We're going to wrap up. Already past my 1 hour and 45. We've got quite a few people still watching, so maybe we'll just keep enjoying the charts there. The maxi premium just cooling off a little bit there at 212, was up to almost 220 there, 2.12. Hedron, on the other hand, is just still going. As I say, it still got the potential, even though it's an overbought territory, still got the potential for try to have attack on the all-time high, or at least try to get higher. But hey, if it does it slower, that's probably better. But like I say, there are a lot of people in here with big X returns. So if it does pull down, could waterfall down. Just depends what people are thinking in their heads. But we saw it 60 billion sold the other day, and it pulled it down quite a bit. So just remember that. Yeah, it's got a chance of going higher, but of course it could fall over too. So getting into tentative times at the moment, but it might have a day or two to go. Maybe 2 or 3 days could go for a while. We saw that back here, so it might do that. We'll see. All right, I think that's probably it on that one. Matt and Barry says, sorry, those guys had no idea, and mostly their views didn't make sense. Who was that, Matt? Who was that? Who are you talking about? Sorry, I was on the phone, but bailed to New Zealand, so messed up a bit. All right, so good. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for 2 more live streams, Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex. And I probably will take that presentation at the beginning and just do a quick short video version of that without the comment in front of it. So stay tuned for that one, and I'm going to rename it so that it's not the same as this video. All right, cool. All right, take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Take care. Let's play out some fun music on the way out. That's how we roll. Let us see here. The banter show last night. I thought so, Matt. Yeah. Let's see where we're up to here. Power City. Let's go Power City Core. This is the funkiest one. All right, I'm going to play the Power City Core. Let's go. And then, of course, the Pulsechain theme. Watch the markets overnight. We could have another good 24 hours, probably. So we'll watch out for that. Peace.